Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year! Welcome to the Early Night Show with Emerson Lee. Today is January 13, and today on the Early Night Show, we have three special guests from the town of Salem. I would like to introduce you to our special guests, John Proctor, Elizabeth Proctor, and Abigail Williams. Please come on in! So before we start the show, here's a short interview we did with them before they arrived on set, starting with John Proctor.
It's totally chaotic and full of madness. People really trust from each other. It's nonsense. Suddenly, people start testifying about who worked with the devil, and people seem to assume whoever accuses is doing God's work. So apparently, if I call you out right now, say that you work with the devil, that automatically means that you are a sinner, that you are the devil's puppet. Darn it.
I'm 6 months pregnant and the child is still growing. I don't know. Let me see John Proctor.
Can't.
Then leave me alone. Go!
Why, yes, of course, I have confessed it, and Jesus has taken me into his life. Yes, I know he loves me, I know it. He loved me from the moment he saw me, and he cheated on his wife to be with me.
Thank you for answering those questions. And for those who are just tuning in to the Early Night Show, we have three special guests from Salem town in Massachusetts, John, Elizabeth, and Abigail. Thank you once more for being on the show tonight.
No problem. Thank you for having us.
John, Elizabeth, I know this might be a personal question, but how is your family doing?
Yes, of course. Well, I have 3 children, and another one on its way. After we've been in prison, my children have been living with Rebecca and Samuel. It kills me to have them left in there, but this corrupted town.
Well, they are safe with them. At least that's what matters.
Indeed, you are right. However, I would like to discuss about the relationship between all three of you. First of all, John, please tell us what happened between you and Abigail.
I've known her and that. But now I try to wash my sins away and return to the man which I was before I met her.
So, you do admit to the adultery you've done?
Unfortunately, yes, and I have regretted ever meeting that girl in my life.
You call me a What about you? We had an affair. It was you who committed adultery. How could you say that? You loved me, and you still do, I know it. And you, Elizabeth. She's blackening my name in this town, and I won't have it. Die, Elizabeth.
Miss William, I'm gonna have to ask you to calm down, please.
She's blackening my name. I won't have it.
We'll be right back after the commercial.
Ugh.
'Cause it's a beautiful night. We're looking for something dumb to do. Hey baby, I think I wanna marry you. Is it the look in your eyes, or is it this dancing juice? Who cares, baby? I think I wanna marry you.
Phew, glad that's over. Now that we've all calmed down, I know some of our audience don't really know what it's like to be living in Salem during the witch trial. So we'll play a game to show the audience what it was like to be accused of being a witch in Salem. Please don't look. Please.
Cheater.
I'm definitely not going to be a witch.
Please stay.
Witch.
I only prepared 3. So the point of this game is that all 3 of our guests today have a card, and on the card it'll say if they're a witch or not, and one person will accuse them, and you'll figure it out as we get along. I think John Proctor is a witch. I saw his name. I saw his name in the book.
He's my witch.
I'm not a witch.
I saw him with the
No!
I saw him.
I saw him.
I saw him.
Wait.
I saw him.
wait,
You're a
wait,
witch.
wait.
You're a witch.
Wait, I
Wait,
think I
We
saw.
gotta hang him.
Wait.
I
Okay,
saw.
I
You're a
confess I'm a witch.
Oh.
I saw Abigail Williams with the
Me too.
devil.
Me
Yeah,
too.
let's
Last
tell
night.
them the witch. I
Last
saw
night.
them the witch.
Last night.
Yeah, I
Last
saw
night.
them.
Last night.
I
I
confess.
can't
Last
confess
night.
when I haven't.
Sorry.
I when I'm not a witch. I can't. I'm not a witch.
And now it's time to reveal who the real witch was. Please show us your papers.
I was a witch.
Not a witch.
Yeesh.
Not a witch.
Oh.
Not a witch. I told you, not a witch. Oh, thank you.
That was fun.
Thank you.
As you can see, everyone believed me when I said that John Proctor was a witch, just because I was the first one to accuse him. And because he didn't want to die, he confessed and started to accuse other people just to save his own life.
Well, I had no choice. I wasn't a witch, and I was accused of being one. The only way I could live was if I lied and said that I was a witch, and then my family will be in a great shame. Or I could tell the truth and die, get hanged. As soon as I was accused, I knew I had no choice. That's why I accused Abigail, because then people would turn their attention towards her.
I wanted to tell the truth to show that I wasn't really a witch, but because I didn't confess to what I wasn't, I was hanged.
If someone has stopped breathing, call for medical or first aid assistance immediately. Begin CPR if you are trained to do so. Stop a bleeding injury by applying direct pressure to the wound. If you are trapped, try to attract attention to your location. Miss Proctor, I heard that you were accused of being a witch. Who accused you?
I was accused by Abigail Williams.
But it was true. Her spirit came to me one night and stabbed me.
As I was saying, Abigail told Judge Danforth that I, a good and honest Puritan woman, was with the devil.
Abigail, I know you're lying. We all know you're lying. You.
It's okay, sweetheart.
No, don't.
Not to interrupt, but let's not have another commercial break. We're kind of on a tight schedule today. And going back on track, why did you accuse Elizabeth Proctor, Abigail?
Well, I wanted John Proctor. I knew he wanted me. This was good for the both of us. John didn't want Elizabeth. He wanted me.
Please excuse her. She doesn't know anything. Going back to the topic, the reason why I hated the Salem witch trials was because none of it started from the truth. Abigail and the girls were dancing, some naked, in the forest, and when they thought they were going to get caught, they made up fake witches in the town. They started to accuse, and no one had evidence. This girl, Abigail Williams, wanted to cover up the fact that she drank blood.
Abigail, is it true that you did dance and drink blood? Abigail?
No.
No answer. Very well. Then I suppose we'll be moving on to the question from the audience. One of our audience members would like to ask you, John, about how you felt when Mary Warren accused you of being a witch.
I felt that the world was falling down. Nothing was going on as I was planning. I was pretty angry that most people try to blame one another to save their lives. This is morally wrong.
I see. Thinking about it, I would have been pretty hurt too if one of my best friends, who I trust, were to turn me in with a lie.
Yeah. You see, if you get accused, there is a choice to confess and blame the others, or to claim that you are true, that you're not a devil's puppet and get hanged. Nobody wants to die, but it is important that we make a wise choice. A choice that will not destroy a whole ton of your reputation. If you have a sin, you can't blame it on the other. It is your responsibility who takes the choice. Your choice.
What do you think, Elizabeth?
I believe that lying should not be tolerated. Because when I lied during my trial, everything got worse. And my husband was put into jail.
Abigail, you should have a lot to say about this topic. Do you have anything you want to say?
Whatever.
Is that all?
Whatever.
Okay then. Oh, it seems as if time is running out. Does anyone have any last things that they would like to bring up and talk about?
I got none.
Well, then I suppose this concludes today's episode on the Early Night Show with Emerson Lee. Thank you for tuning in and look forward to next week's episode where we have Kim Kardashian here with us. Woo! Oh, that worked. Thank you.
Who's Kim Kardashian?
You know Kim Kardashian?
누구야?
This boy don't know Kim Kardashian.
누구야?
How are you doing?
I'm 6 months pregnant. And the child is still growing.
How do you plan on raising the child after it is born?
I don't know. Let me see John Prophet. Leave me alone. Go.
자연아.
Leave me alone. Go.
자연아.
How are you doing?
6 months pregnant. The child is still growing. Dude. I'm a baby.
I wanted to tell the truth and show that I truly wasn't a witch, but because I didn't confess to be what I wasn't, I was
Yeah.
Okay.
okay. 나내 거부터 해.
Okay. Emerson, she's gonna be the only one that's gonna do it.
1, 2, 3. I.
Ah!